Meek Mills, you at a Diddy party dressed in matching outfits. Women don't even do that no more, fam. And you got a midget between y'all legs? I knew you was strange when you was bunny hopping for them white boys. Man, come on out the closet, man. Come on.
Is that he's dressing like, he dressing the same he dressing like Diddy? Hugged up with Diddy?
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
When Jeffrey Epstein started showing up in places, white people started saying, hey, man, what is that guy? Who is he? What do he do? How did he become rich? Man, they started giving a pushback. There was never no pushback against Diddy, even with all the rumors of him killing Tupac. So I don't think Diddy just got something on the executive, he got something on everybody.
Right now, while Sean Diddy Combs sits at the center of one of the most significant federal trials in hip-hop history, one artist from Philadelphia has decided he is done staying quiet. Meek Mill stepped forward publicly, first through a series of raw, unfiltered posts on social media, and then through a sit-down interview with Complex to address the storm of speculation that has been circling his name for well over a year. And what makes his decision to speak out so notable is not just what he said, but the timing. The tone and the questions his words inevitably raise about the world he and Diddy once moved through together. This is not a simple story of denial. What Meek laid out, when you look at the full picture, is a window into the culture of silence that has surrounded the Diddy case from the very beginning. Who knew what? Who was there? And who has chosen? Quietly and deliberately to say absolutely nothing. Meek Mill chose a different path. Before we can talk about what Meek said, we need to understand how his name ended up in the conversation in the first place. Because here's the important detail that most people glossed over in the rush to form opinions. Meek Mill was never directly named in any court documents, not once. What actually happened is that music producer Rodney Lil Rod Jones filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy, and buried within that filing was a reference to Diddy allegedly boasting about a personal encounter with a rapper described only as a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. That vague single-line description was enough for the internet to fill in.
You understand? So I can imagine him play fighting with Lil Rod, because, you know, a lot of people can say what they want to say about Diddy. You know, he got a knuckle game. He will fight you. You know what I'm saying? You his size, you understand us? Around your size, so like that, he would fight you. He had a knuckle game. He wasn't that dude that, like, people try to say he was some old scared ass nigga. Nah, he would fight you. You understand? So I could see with a person like Lil Rod, he probably was roughing him up, grabbing him, groping him, you know what I'm saying? Acting like he playing with him, but he actually want him to do what he want him to do. So, like I said before, that's in the past. So when I read it from Lil Rod, I see he's doing the same shit in the future.
So he was doing this with females too back then when you was around.
Right. That's how him and Kim got into the fight, and he, you know, play fight. He used to play fight with the pillows, like the pillow fight, that dump, that, you know, that's kid shit to me. But if that's the way they do, that's the way they do. You understand? He used to do it with Kim all the time.
So the horseplay was his way of grooming you in a sense.
Well, that grooming, that's some new, you know what I'm saying? We didn't call that, we didn't call it grooming back then. That his horseplay was a way of letting you know I could really hurt you if I wanted to. You get it? I could really hurt you. And that's what that kid probably felt. Yo, why he doing me like that? Oh, he just playing with you. No, he was letting you know, if I turn this up, I could really hurt you.
And that was his way of trying to get you to be submissive to him.
Right. He's letting you know, he's putting in your mind, listen here, bro. He's trying to put in his mind, we're playing now, but if I really want to turn on you, it's on. You ain't got no wins. So that kid is feeling, yo, listen here. In his mind, If you read the documents, in his mind, he was so scared that when he went to other people in the camp and said, why did he treat me? Why did he doing this and doing that? They said, oh, he just playing with you because he love you. He like you. He was, no, he was trying to put that, instill that fear in you that he had in you. And he won.
Social media caught the description and ran with it. Blog after blog picked up the thread. Algorithms amplified the speculation. And within days, Meek Mill's name was attached to allegations that the original court filing never once put his name beside. Meek himself was clear about this when he finally addressed it publicly. The lawsuit was never about him, but the media ecosystem turned it into a story about him. He even pointed out that the lawsuit in question had portions dismissed, with the judge throwing out RICO, breach of contract, and emotional distress claims, though some elements of the case did remain active. This distinction matters enormously. There's a significant difference between being named in a federal proceeding and being the subject of internet-fueled inference. Meek's frustration, which he expressed loudly and publicly, was rooted in exactly that gap between fact and narrative. When Meek finally spoke at length, he did so through two channels, a series of posts on X in May 2025, and then a more measured formal interview with Complex recorded in early June and published in July of the same year. Together, these two moments give us the most complete picture of where he stands and what he was willing to say on the record. On social media, Meek was direct and fired up. He confirmed that yes, he attended some of Diddy's events over the years, specifically referencing New Year's gatherings, but he was equally direct about what he did not attend, the notorious white parties that have become central to discussions around Diddy's inner circle. He also made what many considered a striking admission about atmosphere, that the most extreme thing he personally witnessed at Diddy's events was the heavy presence of substances. He framed it as something widespread at those gatherings, while making clear it was not his world and never had been.
How you feel about this Meek Mill and Diddy situation? Like Meek Mill, saying no Diddy and him getting backlash, people feeling like, he being fake because, he had a relationship with Diddy. Like, how you feel about that?
My man, I can't judge Meek Mill as a man. I don't know Meek Mill as a person. You understand? And if he wants to say no Diddy, no homo, no this, no that, that's his choice. I know a lot of Philly dudes and they strong out there, and some of my people are cool with Meek Mill. You understand? People. Some of my people are cool with Meek Mill's people. Meek Mills was a young guy, and Diddy was an influencer, and he may have influenced a lot of things that Meek Mills got caught up in the game in. Brother, I don't know Meek Mills as a man. You understand? I know some of his people through my people who knows his people. If Meek Mills want to say no Diddy, if Meek Mills want to say no homo, I don't have a problem with Meek Mill doing that. Meek Mill's got to deal with what he got to deal with based on the relationship him and Puff had. Dressing alike, being cozy, Puff calling him daddy, saying little innuendos to him. People are looking at that and saying Meek Mill is wrong for saying no Diddy. But you can't tell a man how to spend his money and how to make love to his wife or his Diddy. So, I don't know. I don't know, Mike. I just don't know.
I feel you, man. I get it, man. I see where you're coming from. But I gotta ask you about this party, right, that Diddy threw for Meek Mill. You heard about how the owner, she came out saying that she found used condoms, lubricant, razor blades, powder, blood on the bed sheets. You heard about this?
No, what happened was that Diddy had rented a mansion out for Meek Mill's birthday party. And he had rented it for like $25,000. I remember we rented one of Cher's mansion out, you know what I'm saying? And that's the day he had fired his cook, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? It was me, Wolf, Mace, was Ock staying there? No, just me, Wolf, Mace, Puff, and there was one other person staying in the mansion. But anyway, long story short is that they came recently. This happened a long time ago, but they recently just made a statement that they found loads of cocaine. I wonder what they did with the cocaine, because they didn't turn it over to the police. They said they found loads of cocaine, razor blades. They said that the sheets were bloody, nasty. They found a whole lot of used condoms. And it was a Diddy party, giving in Meek Mill's honor for his birthday. I was like, yo, wow. They said it was disgusting the way that they left the place. So I know they got hit with another bill on top of that $25,000 and the different deposits they had to put down for cleanup and all this other stuff.
In the complex interview, his tone became more measured and analytical. He spoke about always traveling with a close group of people from Philadelphia, never showing up alone, and never placing himself in environments that conflicted with his personal values. He stressed that his character and credibility had never genuinely been questioned by people who actually know him. The public storm, he argued, was largely manufactured. He claimed that what appeared to be a massive wave of public opinion was, in his estimation, driven overwhelmingly by coordinated bots rather than real people with genuine concerns. One of the most consistent threads running through everything Meek Mill said publicly was an argument that extended well beyond his own situation. He positioned what happened to him as part of a larger, deliberate campaign against black artists in the entertainment industry. This was not a passing comment. He returned to this point repeatedly, and it clearly represents something he believes deeply.
You can't be that guy at the gay party getting mad at the gay dudes hitting on you. Right. You at they function. So now you gonna be homophobic in here? What? You the jerk right now. You the clown. You at they shit getting mad. They try to see what to you. Yo, dumbass.
Give me a take on the flack that Meek Mill has gotten throughout all this. You know,
Meek Mill's situational awareness is just low, bro. Like, that's all it is. But the man had his Amazon account hooked to his Twitter. He buying dildos and everything. It's showing on his Twitter, bro.
You can't do that.
Look that up. That's real. He just crazy, bro. Like, that's all it is. Like, you know, I feel like Meek is an honorable dude. He just kind of, he just don't be up to speed a lot of times.
Is that audio real? What are you getting?
I don't know. That audio, I can't confirm that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because my thing is this, like, the feds announced that they have a video of Diddy on camera assaulting a male. You see what I'm saying? So, like, if they making these type of announcements, bro, if they had anything on Meek Mill, bro, like, that's everywhere. Because he just got out of jail and then got off of probation, got a judge fired and all type of things. Like, so it's people who want to see him look bad.
Right.
So if they had it to be out.
Meek Mill's argument was essentially this. The media infrastructure that exists today makes it trivially easy for one vague, unverified claim to be picked up by 15 separate outlets before anyone has checked whether it has any basis. In fact, he described it as a structural form of defamation, whereby the time a correction might appear, the damage to a person's reputation is already done and largely irreversible. He pointed to the way an accusation that was never in any court document ended up being treated in certain corners of the media as an established rumor worth reporting. He also called out what he saw as a particularly troubling pattern, that this kind of treatment seemed to disproportionately target black men in hip-hop. He was not suggesting the Diddy case itself was fabricated. He was drawing a distinction between serious federal allegations against Diddy and the separate, unverified wave of speculation that swept in other names alongside them. In his view, those were two very different things, and conflating them served an agenda he found deeply troubling. Whether you agree with that framing or not, it is a perspective that deserves serious engagement rather than dismissal. Here is where Meek Mill's statements become genuinely interesting. And this is the thread that a lot of coverage understandably spent less time on. Meek did not just speak about himself. He turned his lens outward and asked a pointed, uncomfortable question. Why is everyone else so quiet?
And they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mill's, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood, whereas that he's dressing the same he dressing like Diddy, hugged up with Diddy. I think that Lil Rod know a lot of, but I know this. Two men dress alike, it's just like two men laying down. When they both get up, they both homos. And that's real talk, bro. My man, you go to a party, dog, and the same shirt you got on, I'm taking my shirt off. I'm walking around in a t-shirt. And then, not to blow Meek Mill's up out the water or anything like that, it was said that they checked his Google search and all the other and he was searching for some online gay porn and all that other shit.
Oh, wow.
That shit is crazy, bro. But listen, those are what, you know, it's crazy that money, that lifestyle, and you trying to fit into something get you. These guys never set out to do all this. Meek Mills, when he got into the game, he didn't set out to be questioning about his manhood with Diddy. But he put himself in that position.
Meek Mill noted with visible frustration that if the parties being discussed in the Diddy proceedings were entirely innocuous, it would stand to reason that others who attended them would come forward and say exactly that. The fact that virtually no one from Diddy's broader circle had stepped forward to publicly characterize their own experiences struck Meek as deeply suspicious. He made the observation plainly: the silence of others, people who had been just as present in those spaces, was saying something whether they intended it to or not. This is a perspective that carries a certain weight. It does not accuse anyone by name, but it does invite a broader conversation about what collective silence means in a moment like this, when the entire architecture of a powerful person's social world is being scrutinized in federal court. Meek was essentially saying that choosing to say nothing when speaking up would cost you nothing. If everything truly was above board, its own set of questions.
As far as I'm concerned, he Meek Milk. I ain't calling him Mill no more, that's milk. That's Meek Milk. Added to the honeycomb. You got a meal.
So you believe the Dwayne Martin story, that could happen?
Of course, everybody know that shit. Everybody knew they was just ain't nobody know Dwayne was folding him over like that, taking him to Pound Town. And all these black running around marrying these sitting there convincing other women to go chase a fag. Go get you.
Yeah.
Look at my it isn't he? Can you imagine if he told the truth about their relationships? I want you to meet my husband. He a fag. Would you like to come over? I'll make cookies.
Now, Jack, you know...
that's what these is doing. Hey, young man. Come on over. My husband just wants to touch you for a little while on camera. I promise you, you won't feel a thing. Sniff this.
Okay. So,
really? You stand on red carpets with and you sell an image of lies. Then you influence the public and ask the public to covet and want your life. Who wants that? Who jealous of that? A bunch of whack too afraid to find a real man and real love. So you marry a get for a Birkin bag and then turn your head while he's getting a bunch of kids. I don't feel sorry for none of you, bitch. Don't y'all sit around writing your books, telling your sob stories. He was a going in, you should have known he was gonna be a You married that and made babies with it. Look at Nicki Minaj. You got married level 3 offenders. And do you know since then, she done moved out. She don't live at the house they was living at no more. Kenneth there by herself. She literally got him a zoo. And she fills it with who don't mind rough.
Irrespective of this, Meek Mill also raised the point in a way that somewhat reflected on himself. By speaking out, he was implicitly holding himself to a standard he then applied to others. That consistency, whatever one thinks of the rest of his comments, is worth acknowledging. Now, this is where the conversation expands beyond Meek Mill specifically and touches on something much larger that has been circling the Diddy case from the very beginning. Legal analysts and commentators have repeatedly drawn a structural parallel between the federal case against Diddy and the infamous network surrounding the late financier Jeffrey Epstein. Both cases involve allegations of powerful men using wealth, access, and influence to enable behavior that was apparently known, at least partially, to a wide circle of people who said nothing for years. The you know what files, as they have come to be known in public discourse, revealed just how many names were connected to Epstein's world without most of those people ever facing meaningful scrutiny. That same dynamic is now being applied to the conversations around Diddy. Who traveled, who attended, who was aware. These are the questions prosecutors tend to follow in large RICO and conspiracy cases, where criminal liability can extend well beyond the
Justin Bieber just came out and said that Diddy and Usher were drinking his blood in the form of adrenochrome. This is happening, y'all. The Epstein files is not just pedophilia. There's cannibalism in there. They're eating children. They're drinking blood. They're harvesting blood for adrenochrome. For those of you that still don't believe, I don't know where your mind is at, but you need to wake up because this has been happening. We've been telling you that this has been happening before the Epstein files were released. And after the Epstein files were released, some of y'all still don't believe it. And I don't know what's up with y'all. Wake up.
Now I see with Diddy, as soon as he sued that liquor company, Diageo, CNN dropped that video. He's a cheap dude. If he would have paid Cassie what she was owed for getting urinated on by the Punisher, that's crazy. You got a guy named the Punisher in the house with your wife? What's really going on? Now, he didn't pay her out. He ended up paying her $30 million. Innocence don't cost that much. So there you gotta think about it. Jeffries, human trafficking, he gets arrested. They say he's unfit to stand trial. Harvey Weinstein beat 2 cases. They just now convicted him on something, but you don't see any of it in the news. He's somewhere at his house relaxing. Jeffrey Epstein, the files, they were on her desk one day, the next day they're not there. I know how this game goes because I've been a person people have called to fix situations. You know, I've been somebody who people will call it, look, we need this person to look very bad. How can you help us? How much you gonna pay? Okay, this is what we can do. You feel me? There's been situations where politicians then pissed off people. They'll go out drinking on the town. They'll wake up where they're in their room passed out. They're gonna call me and tell me what's going on. I'm gonna charge them a fee, and then I'm gonna take that money and go feed families and all type of stuff. And then I'm gonna try to help them out with that situation because they play games like this. You know, something that always happens is if you start to press a celebrity about paternity tests, you might be going into the supermarket, come out, see a gun in your car. Now the police pulling up. Whose gun is this? Now you're going to jail. Those type of things happen. You feel me? So things get very dark in this line of work and in these topics because Diddy was arrested with defaced firearms, hardcore narcotics. His drug mule was arrested, getting on a private jet. These are all things that violate interstate commerce, federal RICO laws. None of these charges is brought up. How can you have defaced firearms, automatic rifles in New York, in your hotel, and no charges get pressed about them? So once I saw that, I say basically they trying to punish him. He thought he was bigger than the program. They want to let him know, like, look, you cannot beat us. Don't play with us. We're going to spank you on the wrist. You're going to sit in jail 5 or 6 years. We ain't going to give you life this time. But next time, you finna get life. So now,
warning.
It's a warning. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I said I'm about to leave. Because I promised my mom I wouldn't be violent no more. Yeah.
Meek's comments, viewed in this light, fit into a larger pattern of people within the entertainment industry being forced to account for their proximity to power that allegedly was not what it appeared to be on the surface. His decision to speak proactively rather than wait to be asked mirrors the kind of calculation others in similar positions are quietly making right now. In federal conspiracy cases, the co-conspirator net can, as legal experts have pointed out, extend surprisingly far and reach people who believe their distance protected.
I would be bodyguarding somebody else and end up at some of his parties. They keep lying and say I work for him. I never said I work for him. That's something that these people do.
Yes.
So they got me in a lawsuit right now saying I pointed a gun at Diddy and protected the lady from him. How am I doing that and working for him? It don't make no sense. So like I've been having a lot of attacks, people trying to discredit me, but I got the receipts. And there's a lot of punishment going on. No pun intended.
Yes.
No pun intended. Crazy work. So yeah, I knew it was coming. So I was like, pause. I knew that was going to take place. So I was like, I probably should leave. Because it's like, my mom told me she wanted me to eventually, settle down, have a family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, have some children. It's hard to date in this line of work. I never really had many serious relationships. I only had 5 girlfriends my whole life. I don't have no children. I dedicated my life to my path and it paid off for me. And I'm not damaged, I'm a gentleman at all times, until it's time, Chivalry has not died. So it's just like, I'm gonna keep doing what I do, but when it comes to this, people gotta always pay attention to the underlying facts. Because if Lynn gets caught with several rifles and cocaine and drugs, Lynn's gonna be having to go to jail. How come he not going to jail?
Let us talk about what Meek Mill actually accomplished by coming forward the way he did. Because the strategic dimension of this deserves honest examination. By speaking out loudly and early, and by going on record with a major publication while the trial was still ongoing, Meek placed himself firmly in the category of people who chose transparency over calculated silence. Whether his account is entirely accurate is something only he and the people who were present can truly speak to. But the optics of choosing to speak versus the optics of saying nothing are vastly different. He also made a personal, emotional argument that resonated with many people. that his teenage son was going to school having to navigate the rumors that were circulating about his father. That is not a legal argument. It is a human one. And it grounded the conversation in something that transcended strategy or reputation management. A parent watching their child absorb a distorted version of who they are has a motivation that goes beyond spin control. Meek went further still, announcing that he was prepared to fund a private investigation, reportedly offering a significant sum to uncover who was behind the coordinated online campaign he believed was targeting. Whether that investigation ever materialized into anything concrete, the announcement itself sent a message that he intended to pursue this aggressively rather than simply weather it. In the court of public opinion, that kind of posture tends to read very differently than quiet deflection.
Jeffrey Epstein's island list. Homie Chris Tucker name on there. There's a bunch of people name on there. But isn't it ironic that they give us all the details about Puffy and then give us no details about Jeffrey Epstein? So, homie, I just want to remind people, as humble and as meek and righteous you think your favorite celebrity is, they exist in an evil world. And for them to maintain in that world, they have to be okay with evil things. Whether that's T.I., man, you have to be okay with evil things because you don't get this high. Religious people have always said that evil things and evil high power of principalities exist in high places. Evil exists in high places, huh? How do you think he could do that for so long? And now you got videos of later of him coming out saying, man, they might arrest me for these kind of motherfuckers. Because most evil things is in plain sight. We just don't know what to look for. But I'm gonna say this. He ain't been accused of fucking no babies. So fuck what he did to them people. Because I know it wasn't a freak off. It was a big orgy that they was having. And how you go fuck because I'm a rich and I got these hoes coming in from Texas and they go come to New York and they go, but yeah, them hoes want some money for me to, how you go hit me with man, I'm getting these hoes something for that pussy. These ain't prostitute. It's a fair exchange. I'm a rich man. Every pussy I get, I got to fly in from another state and be willing to give him something. Man, this the part of the rich and famous life.
There are things Meek Mill said, and then there are things that sit just beneath the surface of what he said, and both deserve attention. When he described the atmosphere at Diddy's events, he was not painting a picture of garden parties. He was describing environments where heavy substance use was normalized and widespread, where the social dynamics were clearly defined by Diddy's power and the access he could grant or withhold, and where, by Meek's own telling, he always made a point of never being there alone. That last detail is striking. A man who consistently emphasizes that he never showed up to these events without 3 or 4 of his own people from Philadelphia is a man who understood, on some level, that those environments required a form of protection or accountability. That is not the behavior of someone who felt entirely relaxed and unconcerned. It is the behavior of someone who is managing risk, consciously or not. His observation that certain people have gone completely silent also tells its own story. Names left unspoken in the Diddy proceedings represent, for many observers, the most compelling chapter of a story that is still unfolding. The federal trial does not end the broader investigation. RICO cases in particular have a way of expanding over time as cooperators emerge, as deals are struck, and as the full scope of an alleged enterprise becomes clearer to prosecutors. Meek Mill's decision to speak now, loudly and on the record, may ultimately prove to be one of the more consequential moves anyone in Diddy's orbit has made.
It's people that went to Diddy parties but never went to the after party.
2 pair of funky lips will say anything. Well, they know what's at the after party. You never heard nobody speak on nothing. Why have they been silent for so long?
It's a lot of hearsay about what goes on.
That's what I'm saying. It's been hearsay. Why did it take the FBI, the government, to come in and say, man, we know he's been doing this. Here's what we got. When there's been hearsay about it all this time and all these years. He's been shielded by them, homie. They never shied away from him. They know he's been beating up Kim Porter. They know he's been torturing Cassie. They know he's been doing it. So why nobody ever shied away from him?
Because he's CEOs that's keeping great relationships.
Man, somebody wrote a book.
All these CEOs are going to his parties. That's how he's keeping the leverage.
How you know?
I read the book.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say with some specifics. Man, how you done told you this? Yeah, you done.
Allegedly.
Oh, okay. It sounds about right. But he CEO and he also an artist. The other celebrity. You not getting invited to the party. Remember they say you gotta tell him no. You gotta tell Diddy no, remember? So yeah. Tyrese said, I'm not going to the after party. Man, they all been to the after party. You mean to tell me when you first became a star and didn't nobody know who you were and you was trying to get in, you didn't go to the party? You gotta keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, nobody have pushed back against this culture that Diddy supposed to have created for us in the black entertainment world. There's been no pushback against him. When Jeffrey Epstein started showing up in places, white people started saying, hey man, what is that guy? Who is he? What do he do? How did he become rich? Man, they started giving a pushback. There was never no pushback against Diddy.
What we have here is a story that, on the surface, looks like one rapper distancing himself from another rapper's legal trouble. But when you sit with the details, it becomes something considerably more layered. Meek Mill did not just deny involvement. He raised structural questions about media accountability, about the silence of powerful people, about the way allegations move through online ecosystems with almost no friction, and about what it means to be a black man in the entertainment industry when the narrative starts running faster than the facts. The Diddy case itself remains one of the most consequential legal proceedings the music industry has ever seen, and it is far from over. Names continue to surface. Testimonies continue to emerge. The network of people who move through Diddy's world is vast, and the federal system has both the tools and the incentive to continue pulling on every available thread. Meek Mill chose to speak. Many others have not. And in a case of this nature, where federal prosecutors are actively examining who knew what and when, the question that lingers long after this video ends is a simple one. Among all the people who have stayed silent, how many of them are truly at peace with that decision? Keep it real. If you like this video, where federal prosecutors are actively examining who knew what and when, the question that lingers long after this video ends is a simple one.